Inside it, we've got a special guest joining us today who've recently graduated from our flagship course, LMA, and she'll be sharing with us in terms of her journey on board, how she found the whole process and everything in between. So just want to say it's amazing to see you. Let's start with an introductory question. What's your name? Where you're currently based and what do you currently do?
Yeah, my name's Hayley Harmon and I am based in Southampton. And currently I am homeschooling my son, and I've been working for my husband's company for the past 7 years, but I've just embarked on a new venture in opening up my own salon.
Awesome. So we're going to rewind time right now, Hayley. If you don't mind just sharing us like a glimpse of what was you experiencing in your life prior to joining the LMA course? What did it look like? How's it making you feel every day and everything in between?
Okay. Well, obviously last year was a really difficult year for everybody because of the COVID and everything. But in some ways, it was a real blessing because it gave me an opportunity to get off of the treadmill of life and to reflect on what it was I wanted to do. And for so long now, I've just been caught up in doing the same thing. I worked for my husband, help him run his business, which is not really my desire. But I done it because I wanted to support him, and it's not wasted because I've learned loads of stuff. I've learned
Mm,
how to start a company and all of what that involves, but it just doesn't light me up. So it was a nice opportunity to be able to stop and think what it is I wanted to do. But in that, I just found that I didn't know how to progress forward. I had a awakening about 18 years ago when I had become a born again Christian.
mm,
Prior to that, I knew nothing about awakenings, God, or anything like that. I'm very much from a background of with my ex-husband, we used to actually used to sell drugs, which is not I'm not proud of, but I was a different person then, and I'm a different person now, and I was very much involved in the wrong sort of lifestyle, and I I basically had an awakening and my life completely changed and everything was almost like animated. I remember walking out of the church and just looking up and thinking, wow, this looks like Toy Story. Like I just realized how blue the sky was and how green the trees were, and I
mm,
just felt so filled with love. And but that over the years has kind of like been watered down because I I had the awakening, but I couldn't, my mind was still the same. And
mm,
I was still going through the wrong patterns. And even though I broke away from all of my friends that I used to hang about with, I wasn't really mixing with anyone who could influence me and help me with creating a new mindset. And so I went on for years just rescuing and caretaking people because I had a heart to help change people's lives, and I got part of other people's projects and stuff. So nothing's wasted. That was good.
mm,
But myself, I'd see other people growing and I'm just stuck in the same thing. So like last year I was watching a YouTube video and you come up on there, Tim, and I just thought, wow, that looks good. I might check that out. um Kind of a little bit deflated in that I've tried so many things and I just end up not being consistent with them. I'm diagnosed with adult ADHD, so the only thing I was consistent in was being inconsistent. I
mm.
start loads of different things and then I don't complete them. And so I just thought, no, when you were talking, it really resonated with me. And I thought, no, I really do feel like this meant to come up at this time. And so I watched the free seminar that you done, and it was just like light bulb moment after light bulb moment, almost like being born again. It was like, wow, I was just felt so lit up. I just felt like there was so much hope because I needed to change. I wanted to change. I didn't know where to start. And I watched your video and I was like, this is, for me, it's from God because that's where
Yeah.
I come from.
Yeah.
And I'm very skeptical about different things because a lot of people preach like the universe and the bright light, and some of their meditations are a little bit iffy with in terms of my faith. But the thing that I was drawn to with you is that even with my faith, it was applicable, but it made so much sense. It was truth.
Mm,
And yeah, that was when I started the um the
yeah.
journey
So you
with
was
LMA.
watching a random YouTube video and I came up and you end up essentially joining the free masterclass. You're sat there
Yeah.
And you're saying you got value from the free class, which is awesome. And of course, you were presented the opportunity to join LMA. So, if you were to be honest with us, what would you say, other than what you've just mentioned, what were your biggest doubts or fears you actually had about joining this course, and wind up putting that to rest for you?
It was obviously, the fear was, I've done so many things before. Is this
Yeah.
actually going to work? Because so many times I just get caught up in this cycle where I've signed up for things. Some things I signed up for, I've never even bothered logging in. And I just thought, the fact that you offered the 30-day money back guarantee as well was massive for me, because I
Mm,
just thought, then at least if I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to get into it, at least I have that security. And so I just thought, yeah, I'm just going to go for it. I'd never even heard of you before or seen
mm,
you, any of your stuff, mainly because I just follow the Christian side of things,
yeah.
very much sort of caught up in that bubble.
Mm,
And yeah, so that was the thing, that was, the 30-day money back guarantee. But
yeah.
after I watched the first session, I knew that I wasn't going to be asking for my money back, because I knew that this was divine timing and it was right.
Mm.
So
What problems were you looking to resolve on board the LMA course when you were joining?
um the inconsistency, I think, was the main thing. And I like the idea that there was a community of people as well, because I knew that I needed to be around people who were different and thinking different. And for years now, like, people were saying to me, get around people in the church who are doing what you want to do, but there's no one there who was doing what I wanted to do. So I'm like, I started a degree at university to do social work, to try and get around people there. But when I was there, I felt like someone was going to tap me on the shoulder and say, excuse me, we made a mistake, you shouldn't be here, because of my background, because my mind was so, like, not renewed. And yeah, it was being able to be around people as well within that community, so that I could meet people that I just wouldn't be able to meet in everyday life. And that was one of the things which really I liked the sound of.
Okay. And so you're saying in the past you found, maybe because it was triggered by your ADHD, that you found it hard to essentially go through other courses, or perhaps you said you didn't even open up some courses or log in. So I suppose the question is, what what was it that made you even want to log into LMA? And what made you actually get started on this journey with us? Because you did complete the entire 6 week process, and it's not an
Yeah.
easy journey to say the least. What happened?
Yeah, I think, again, it was a case of divine timing, but it was also a case that it just resonated with me. And, like, I find your energy as well, the way that you present things is so clear and so easy to understand, and so it's so simple, and yet there's so much substance to it. And the way that it made me feel, I was just like, I couldn't wait. Like, when I first got born again, I couldn't wait to get to church. I couldn't wait to look in my Bible. I haven't felt that, like, hope and that excitement for so long. So after doing each of the steps, I literally just felt like, I just can't wait to start this. And one of the main things that really was the light bulb moment for me was when, at the beginning, you were talking about how we let ourselves down, and how, and I'd never heard that before. And I have heard so many different coaching programs and different things, and I never really thought of it like that. And that just really made me think, yeah, I've always believed I've been quite integral, and I'm an honest person, and I like, what you see is what you get. But actually, I let myself down so many times. And I think when you said that, that really made me think, do you know what, don't let yourself down now, Hayley, see this through. I just instantly felt that I could trust you. And and so, yeah, I just went for it, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah. And you're saying essentially earlier that you had, I suppose, used to have some toxic peers surrounding you and so forth. Having gone through some of the environmental conditioning from my past, I know it's made me a little bit more shielded, or makes me harder for me to trust others. That used to be a very big problem for me. So I suppose, what made you actually believe in this work and actually really go all in? Was you just open to it from the start, or was there a part of you that was skeptical, or what ended up really putting all of that to the side?
I was a bit skeptical when it come up because most people know what it's like. You go on YouTube, you go to log in to watch something, because something else pops up, and it's like you're waiting for it to count down, thinking, "Hurry up! I'm not going to bother with this." And
Yeah.
but I just I'm very much someone that since I did become born again and had my experience like all those years ago, that there's like a knowing inside, and I follow that intuition a lot. That is,
Mm.
once I know that, that's what I follow, and I just felt that. And so I know, not I know that voice now, and I know that when that's the truth. So
Right.
yeah, I just went with it.
Love it. So it's your intuition is pretty
Yeah,
strong. Okay.
yeah.
So, in terms of getting involved with LMA, what would you say initially, first impression wise, made you feel the happiest about our work? Like, what was it that made you feel the happiest or surprised you the most about our work?
I think it was the fact that I felt so empowered and so excited to get up every day again, after feeling for years like I had this amazing awakening and this experience of God, and then I felt like I slowly withered down and died almost inside. And it was the fact that it lit me up, and that I felt good, and that I felt empowered. And also, one of the other things which is really significant as well is that, like I say, when I first, all those years ago, had like my awakening,
Mm.
I just turned into someone who then just rescued and caretaked. I just become part of this ideology in like religion, if you like, where my life's not my own now, I have to live for everyone else, and I'm going to look after everyone. And I've
Mm.
always kind of been like that anyway, but I kind of made that my life's mission, and I was very much part of that. And it was great, but I noticed that other people would be changing and growing and following their dreams, and I'd still be here. And I'm like, I feel stuck, and I'm putting other people in front of myself. And that's not like, I'm not saying that in an egotistical way, or like I'm selfish, but in the end I started to just think, hold on a minute, this can't be that all there is. How come I feel so unfulfilled all of a sudden? And yet I'm doing what I think is what I was created to do. But the thing that was missing was that I wasn't really valuing and loving myself.
Mm.
And I learned that on another level with the LMA, to that it's okay, it's not selfish. I always used to view it as being selfish. And like when you use like the analogy, like if you're on the plane and you've got to put your gas mask on before your child's, you know, not the gas, yes, the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I heard that before, but like it really, really, I got it now. It's like, yeah, do you know what? I am okay to love myself, and then I can be more helpful for others. So but I think I just had to go on that journey of exhausting myself, and in order to come to that realization. And I'm just glad that when I was at my lowest, when I just thought, I don't know what I'm doing, that that YouTube video popped up.
Mm. So, in terms of this 6 week journey, the modules that is part of the LMA, which module of LMA, what week would you say you had the biggest insights from, or the biggest value or change that you experienced?
They were all amazing in their own way, but I think the best one for me is the first one,
That's one.
about, yeah, about letting myself off the hook, like,
Mm.
and being integral. Like I just got that in a whole new meaning. Like that was so brand new to me. That was just like, wow. And I had an experience where my daughter come round, and I trained to be an aesthetic practitioner a couple of years ago, and obviously with COVID I haven't been able to practice. And so, as part of my affirmations in the morning, I will say to myself, I'm a confident aesthetic practitioner, I can do this, and I'm this and I'm that, and all of these positive affirmations. And she come round and she was like, "You're right." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, I'm really concerned because like I haven't been able to do this for 12 months. I'm really concerned that like I won't be able to, I've forgotten what I've learned." And I just started to offload all of these fears and worries to her. And and then she went, and that was fine. I went to bed that night, 4 in the morning. I hear this little voice like, "Oh, you can't do this. This is not for you. You need to be giving this up now. What are you doing?" And at this point, LMA had given me the confidence to sign up to a new salon in the middle of of a pandemic,
Wow.
like to face that fear and
Yeah.
sign up to a 7-year contract. And that is just something which I would never have even done before, because I'd been bankrupt in the past.
Mm.
Um, and so I was so scared of having it in my name, and I had to have it in my name. But through the work that I'd learned on LMA, I had the courage to be able to do that. And anyway, 4 o'clock in the morning, this little voice, and I just felt like my body started to go into like panic mode, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? I've got this shop now 7 years. I'm not going to be able to do this. And then I just like started to do like the breathing and think, come on, just like observe that voice that's going on. I know that's my survival brain. And then all of a sudden I just had this awareness that actually I'm doing these affirmations, but then if I'm talking like that, I'm seeing myself talking like that. I'm hearing myself talking like that. And it's not that we can't be honest and share our how we're feeling or fears or anything, but we're always listening to what we're saying. So we got to watch what it is we're saying, because if we're trying to build ourselves in an area of our life, and then we're going around saying to everyone, oh yeah, I'm scared, but then, oh, I'm really confident, we're just wiping that out. So that's the biggest thing. And I catch myself doing it quite a lot now, actually. Not as much in terms of I catch myself talking a lot negatively. Just before I'm about to say something, I think, hold on a minute, I'm the one watching this here. I'm not going to be going there, because that's not who I am. You
Mm.
know, I'm a new person now, which
It's awesome. And that's quite a new decision right there. So you signed
yeah.
this contract, 7 years. Wow. How's it feel?
It feels amazing now. It's not been plain sailing. We thought we were going to be able to open. We haven't been able to open. I've got an empty building there. And the amazing thing about it is I went in to be an aesthetic practitioner, not because that's my heart's desire. I love doing beauty and things like that. I've been running a building company for 7 years, like I say, which is not my dream. I still have this desire to be able to take my life experience, pretty much like yourself. You know, I was a crack and heroin addict. My ex-husband died of it. I've like, my son is currently in prison at 17 years old on a long sentence. I've had to watch things unfold in front of me, which I feel like I'm helpless to, but I'm committed to becoming the best I can be, so that then I can pass on. My glass ceiling is going to be their floor, and I'm going to be able to impart some of what I've learned and been through to help others. So it's not just a salon. It's actually called Be Loved Southampton, and the slogan is a place to flourish inside and out. And we're going to be merging life coaching, therapies, mindfulness, gratitude,
Wow.
and all of these things with
Yeah.
the aesthetics, the beauty, the nails. So it's going to be a place where women are going to be able to come, and they're going to be able to just, you've got Alcoholics Anonymous and NA and stuff for people with a specific issue, but just people in everyday life who are just existing.
Love
I
it.
wanted to
Yeah.
create something there, and I know I need to be strong, and I need to know who I am, and that's why I've become that person, that future self, which I've learnt about through LMA, and I'm stepping forward with it, and that's the dream and vision. And so I'm so excited, but I'm also like, I need to get into this. But I feel so equipped just after the 6 weeks already. I feel like, wow, it's just the icing on the cake of years of trying to step out, and finally, it's given me that courage.
Right. That's awesome. So it's external and internal sort of, you're making them
Yeah,
look good and feel good
taking
inside as well.
action.
Yeah,
I
love
was never someone before that took action. I've
it.
talked about things, you know ultimately I would want to work in the prisons and things like that, and now
Yeah.
it's like I'm taking these steps. It's quite a big step, really, signing up
Yeah.
to something like that. And I haven't got any staff, I haven't got anything like that planned, but I know that it's coming, and I'm trusting, because I've just got this confidence and this trust now that I never had before I've done the LMA.
So let me ask you the final question, which is having been on the other side, what advice would you give to somebody right now who's sitting on the fence of possibly joining LMA, having now gone through this journey with us? What would you say to them?
I would say to them that you can have a life that you love. And for me personally, LMA was the thing that gave me that life that I loved. I don't know where I would be. I would have lost out on this opportunity for this amazing thing, this amazing journey that I'm now embarking on with this new business. And I wouldn't have had that, I know, if I hadn't have taken myself through it. The people that you meet in the online community are just absolutely beautiful. And I know that that fear comes up whenever you think about signing up. So is this going to work? I had all of that. And I know I've heard people say that's how it is. But honestly, I can hand on heart say that it is one of the best things I've ever done in my life. And I would encourage anyone to do it. And you know what? I think as well, even if, what is the worst that can happen? Even if you've heard some of it before, you think, like, that's another thing that you say, you know, I already know this. Like, I did think to some extent, oh, I already know this, but actually if you knew it, you'd be living it. And actually there's always something to learn. There's nothing to lose, really. And for me, it's just changed my life. It's just absolutely changed my life. And I'm so grateful to you, Tim, as well, for, you know, doing what you do and putting yourself out there and being there for people and just opening your heart, because it's that vulnerability that you've shown and the way that you are that is just having such a ripple effect. And it's great. Thank you.